Hey guys, it's the Frugalnista, and let me show you what I picked up for free today. I don't take y'all with me. This is answering one of my questions. I do have a question and answer to do. I don't take y'all with me because A, I got so many videos up already showing me doing it, and B, I'm not trying to lose my phone. I really am not, guys. But look what I picked up today. I only stopped 2 places and found really 2 nice items. Let me show you. Guys, you see that? I have a beautiful red umbrella. Happy 4th of July. And I have a beautiful khaki one. This is a solar panel. I'm out here seeing if my umbrellas work. That's the first one. It's kind of windy. I haven't mounted it yet, but that's one. And I found one of those. I've actually seen a few of those in my free finding. And yeah, very, very nice. Beautiful outdoor chair. First question, number 1, legal in your area. Frugalnista is not an attorney, but I will tell you what I did in order to find out the legalities. I just did a Google search. I know it's a lot of misinformation out there. So what I did was call locally. I went to my local non-emergency police department in the towns that I wanted to do this in and asked the questions. You might find that they don't even know. But I did find out that it is legal in my state, and it is legal in all of the areas where I do it. So that's my suggestion to you, because I'm not an attorney, so I won't be giving any advice on legal in your area. And I actually had somebody ask me if it was legal in Mexico. I'm definitely not giving any international advice because I have no idea what other countries do. Okay, next question. Okay. What state do you live in and a possible meetup? Oh, that's nice. And I think the guy who wanted to meet up is Tyler. He comes to my channel often. Tyler, you're so sweet. I know you're in Delaware. I live in New Jersey. I do share the state that I live in, but I don't share the city, town, and all of that. It's the internet. I'm trying to be safe. And as much as I would love to do possible meetups, no. Frugalnista, are you on any other social medias? YouTube is keeping your girl very, very busy. I could not imagine trying to incorporate Instagrams, Twitter, Facebook, all of that into doing a YouTube channel. It's just, that would be overwhelming to me. I think I have an Instagram, but I've never posted anything. If I decide to post and be active on other social medias, I'll let you guys know. But as of now, no other social medias. Sorry. What days of the week do I go? No special days. I found items every day of the week. Lock dumpsters. Now, the only advice I can tell you to do is not to tamper with a lock, because that is considering breaking and entering, and nobody's trying to get arrested, ticketed. This is something easy to do. Nobody wants to have any type of law enforcement, issues. So leave lock dumpsters alone. What I would tell you to do if I saw a locked dumpster and if it was still legal in my area, I would check often, because a lot of times, especially in the winter months, they don't lock them. Nobody's fooling around with the lock. So I've gone to stores where 1 week they're locked and the next week they're not using the lock. So do I have a special time, day or night? I like going during the day, right before the stores open. It's worked out really good for me. I know there are a few people who only go at night. I've tried nighttime. It's not a good fit for me. Nighttime I can't see. Since I don't physically climb in, I like to be able to pull up to the back, peek in, grab a box or a bag full of whatever or an umbrella and go. At nighttime you have to worry about like a flashlight, and I do this by myself, so nighttime is just too scary for me. So special time of day, I like to go during the day, right before the stores open or shortly after they open. I find that big items like this are put out in the morning time, not nighttime. That way it gives me an advantage of getting it before somebody else gets it, because I'm not the only somebody who does this. So daytime, morning time. How did I get started? Well, about 2 years ago, I was looking for a box at Dollar General. I just needed one, and I asked the store manager, do you have any empty boxes? And he told me sure. He had just put some boxes out back. He told me to go back there and check. I did. Now, when you do this, there are 2 containers. One is for recyclables and one is for trash. Well, I looked in the wrong container. I looked in the trash container, and when I saw a brand new fan still in the box, and when I moved it, it was heavy. And the store manager came out and he said, well, did you find that box? And I said, yeah, but did you know there was a fan in here? He said, oh yeah, that's trash. He went on in the store. I picked that box up, put it in my car, came home, and I'm still using that fan today. Did a Google search once I got in. found out a little bit more about it, did the next most popular search, which is YouTube, and found out that there was a community of people doing this for all types of reasons. Selling things on eBay. Some people do this for food. Some people do it for personal reason. There was an entire makeup community doing it. And also, another thing that kind of got me started, my brother kind of told me, who works in retail. He always has worked in high-end retailers. And he would tell me about products that they would get rid of, things that were simply seasonal things that they did not sell and they had to throw away, damage out. And he was telling me that when they would do that, he would just get the biggest chuckle out of all of these, fro ladies who worked, who, were his customers, who would go in the back and get all of this high-end pillows, chairs, lamps, anything that they were getting rid of, because they would have to throw it away. Some stores require you to damage out, but a lot of times he said I would just chuck it back there, but just get the biggest kick out of Mercedes, Porsches, all of these high-end luxury cars parked out back at the dumpster trying to get the goodies from his store. So I wanted to put that face on YouTube of the person who was getting it, because in doing this, I've seen those same mommies driving around in their, mommy mobiles like me, trying to find stuff like this. So yeah, that's what got me started in it and sharing on YouTube. How do I do it, and will I ever do a video showing you guys? I have several videos up taking you guys with me when I do this. When I first started doing it, I would record everything. Now I don't, because again, I've gotten a bunch of videos. What I do is might link a video with this one to show you guys exactly how it's done, but it couldn't get any simpler, guys. It's just the three things: pull up, peek in, and pick up. That's all I do. It is so simple to do. I don't climb in. No, I don't climb in. That's probably one of the reasons I don't say dive. I'll discuss that in a minute. The Frugalnista does not climb in. That's not a good look for the Frugalnista. Could y'all imagine me climbing my behind in anybody's dumpsters? No. I'm tall enough. Most of the time, things are right on top. Like this was right on top. All I did was picked it up and put it in my car. So yeah, so that's all I do. And I might link a video actually doing it here. And I'm going to turn the camera around so y'all can see me. Okay, guys, I'm going to go out. And we are out. The next question is a question about my thoughts on, do you think it will ever get to a point that businesses become more concerned environmentally about what is thrown in the landfills? To be honest with you, I do not. I think it's all about the money. Dollar bill, y'all. I really do. And until there's a social uprising, people getting fed up with the items that are going in our landfills, I tell you guys, I get the biggest chuckle, seriously, the efforts to try to make us not use plastic bags, but these companies are throwing away perfectly good items that are going into our landfill. It is waste. It is things that shouldn't be in our waste stream, and they could be donating. There should be some type of Good Samaritan laws where companies aren't being held liable, because I get that. They're concerned that they will be liable for things that they donate, but there has to be a better way. I just see too much waste, and what really gets me is when I see items that are shredded, like you take the effort to shred them. Just yesterday, I found a huge container of pajamas. Womp, womp, womp. We have a fistful of nightwear that has been shredded to pieces. So sad, so sad. Yeah. So ladybugs, I am looking. I just have not found anything in quite some time. Yep. All shredded. So sad, so sad. And as much as I would have liked the pajamas, they shouldn't have been shredded that way. They should have been donated. You know, if you want to take your label out so it's not destroying or diluting your brand, I get that. But I just see so much waste, and you know, that just really does my heart. I just feel some kind of way about that, honestly. But no, to answer your question, no, I don't think they ever would be concerned about it. I just think it's a money thing, and yeah, that's what I think. I have a question about donating locally. Yes, I like to donate locally because I want my item that I picked up for free to get to the person for free. I used to donate to Goodwill. A lot of you do. A lot of you still do. That's good. Good for you. But when I go in a Goodwill, I'm not a big thrifter, but when I go in a Goodwill and see that the prices are high to me, and sometimes people who can't afford anything, I just think that's just too much money. And then another thing, I know Goodwill does a lot for the community. They employ people who are unemployable in any other aspects, but there are CEOs still running this company, and they make a lot of money, guys. So what I try to do is follow the things that I find for free to organizations who are going to give to free. So I do more locally. One of you suggested the Catholic Church. That's a good organization, but I just try to make sure everything that I give is getting straight to the person. So I do kind of on a smaller scale, not thrift shops, but on a smaller local um, giving away locally and making sure that the person that I give this free stuff that I found is getting it for free. How do you do this without getting yelled at? Busy shopping centers. Well, like I said, nobody's ever yelled at me. I've been doing this for 2 years. As a matter of fact, nobody has ever even said anything to me except one employee who told me I couldn't have a bag. And I just drove off with the other two bags I had already put in my car. I think the perception of what people think that it takes a long time. If you're doing this correct, it only takes seconds, guys. So maybe that's why I have never been yelled at. She asked also about busy shopping centers, working up the nerves to do it. Seriously, guys, I actually think that I just look like a nice lady looking for boxes. I have on sunglasses. I told you I'm in my mommy mobile. I'm not climbing physically in, so I just think maybe it's just me, but if you really saw me dressed like I am today, taking a peek, would it really concern you? I don't think it does. And I just think you just kind of almost look like wallpaper. As long as you're not making a mess, creating a havoc, I just think driving up somewhere and doing this under a minute to peek in, it's no big deal. Once you get past that apprehension of doing it, it just becomes kind of like second nature to you. And as far as the embarrassment factor, I really could care less. Knowing what I know and seeing what I do and the things that I find, I could care less about who sees me. But again, that's a personal thing. You're going to have to get over that. That's something that you would have to get over. And the perception of what somebody thinks of me. One question was, she didn't want anybody to think she was poor. Well, I can tell you from experience, I am 50 years old. Y'all know that. So the Frugalnista has lived. Mother has lived. The perception of poor, rich, I've had neighbors to leave out in the middle of the night who I thought they were just, had it going on, but didn't pay their mortgage. So let's just kind of get rid of that perception of poor, what poor is. I've seen people who look like, and I'm not even going to use a janitor because believe it or not, the Frugalnista has been a janitor before, who look like they don't have anything, but could buy and sell my community that I'm living in. So you got to get over that perception. And honestly, in this economy, knowing what I know now, most people who I know who are self-made have found an unconventional way of doing it. This is very unconventional, but it is very lucrative. I want to tell you guys, and I really could care less because guess what? The Frugalnista is doing something easy and able to make money doing something easy. So get over that factor if you plan on doing it. Just kind of put it in your mind and yeah. That's how I had a question about tags on clothes. Yes, sometimes I find brand new items. Sometimes stores actually clear merchandise out, like those pajamas that I showed you earlier from Justice. When I see massive amounts like that, it's either one or two things. They had to do a recall. It's really easy to look up things that are recalled from a national registry. It's no big deal. But when I see things like that, winter pajamas, trying to make room for spring and summer merchandise and destroying it like that, they were pulled from the shelves. When I see, backpacks, 10, 20, 30 of them, they didn't sell, destroyed them, throw out because we need to make room for the next season's items. So that's what I meant about finding tags on clothes, because a lot of the items, some of them are returns, some of them are things that, may be damaged or, weren't perfect, but a lot of them, a great majority of them, are just new items that they are pulling from shelves. Do I ever run into any other divers, and do they get kind of like territorial over the dumpster? I've run into a few people. I told you guys, certain high-end stores, you kind of see the same women, kind of scoping out a place. They parking at the Starbucks looking at the Z Gallery, or parking at a Starbucks looking at the Restoration Hardware. So I do run into those, but I've never run into any problem with anyone. Um, and because probably I'm out there doing the daytime, so I've never had any issues except a landscaper one time. A landscaper saw me doing it one day, and then the next day I saw him doing it, so I got all in my feelings, getting all like, I'm gonna tell his boss on him. And then I thought about it, and I just kind of said, I have some nerve, because it's not mine. And I really thought about it. What God has for you, it's for you. Nobody can take it. So if I didn't get it, it wasn't meant for me anyway. So you just have to have that approach to it. Some don't. I've had a few people to be upset with me on YouTube because of the way I share, but that doesn't deter me. The more I keep my fists open, my hand open, I'm able to give and to receive. Keeping it closed like this, nothing can get in either. And if you really take that approach to the universe, give freely, it comes back to you freely. Okay, I already asked it about certain days, but this person wanted to know certain times of the month or season. I think it's really better to do it in the wintertime, especially here in the Northeast. When it's cold outside, people are less likely to use locks, and they are less likely to destroy items. So I like doing it in the winter a lot better. Any advice to a person who does not have a car? Partner up with somebody. I had actually a young lady who wrote and told me she used to do this years ago, but because she doesn't have a car, she partnered with her daughter, and guess what? She started back up doing it. Also, take a peek if you live close to somewhere. My first apartment, or my first condo, we were close to a strip mall where I could walk to. So yeah, if you want to do this, just take a peek. If you're on the bus route, I'm not saying that. Yeah, if you're on a bus route and it's near a place that has a dumpster, just take a peek. It may be something that you can pick up, like a small fan or a piece of luggage or some clothes or something that you can use. Yeah, well, there's a will, there's a way. Disinfect items and Sharpie markers. To remove Sharpie markers, easy off oven cleaner. Disinfect items, I know I owe you guys a video on how I disinfect my makeups. It's just hard for me because I'm not really a YouTube professional. I use my iPhone to record, so I don't have a tripod and all that stuff. I just kind of prop stuff up when I'm doing it. But I use basically 80% alcohol to spritz down things like blushes and eyeshadow. Um, and powder, you know, alcohol does wonders to everything, but another product that you can use is called Beauty So Clean. It's expensive, but that's what the professionals do. Another person gave me that hint also. I still might try to do a video showing you guys how I disinfect the makeup before I send it on its merry way. Okay, but again, 80% or higher alcohol, and I usually pick mine up from CVS or Target. The one in the Dollar Tree is not strong enough to disinfect. Okay. Nails. Oh, she also wanted to know about the nails that I was wearing that day. She wanted to know if my daughter did my nails. Well, no, these are Sally Hansen Salon Effects. Today I'm sporting Little Fish, the summer collection. I broke a nail. Yeah, but they're cute. Love me some Sally Hansens. Okay, I get a lot of questions from my Justice Ladybugs. Hey guys, the Frugalnista loves you so much. And when I tell you these are my loyal YouTubers, these are my loyal YouTubers. Ladybugs, you're going to need the help of a grown up in order to do this. Ladybugs, or Frugalnista has not found anything from Justice, and when I do, I will show it to you. As you can see, I'm still looking. Those pajamas came from Justice, and I felt so bad, but they destroyed them all. But the Frugalnista is still looking, and I appreciate your comments so much. Hope you guys are having a good summer. Okay, this is probably the number one question I get: my online store information. Now, I really want to address this issue. We decided long ago, or I decided long ago when I first started this, YouTube, social media, it can be overwhelming, guys. I like answering all my comments. I like maintaining my channel. I like keeping out all of the ignorance and stuff like that. Um, so to try to incorporate an online store selling, or how I sell online via flea market, whatever I do, trying to incorporate that with a hobby that I like to do. I just like sharing with you guys. It's a hobby. So trying to combine a hobby with a business, to me, is not a good idea under any circumstance. If you're able to do it, great. But I made the decision when I first started, because I was so new at the online selling portion of it. I knew I would be getting questions. I'm still making mistakes in the online selling. I do well. I like making the extra money, but I am in no means a professional able to answer questions. So I made the decision not to share how I sell online. And I'm so glad I did, because I was watching a video from a person who I admire, and she had to shut down the way she sells online because of just nonsense. Going to somebody's online selling, this person is making a living at this, and doing something ignorant to her means of incomes is so not an option for me. So it's best for me, and I'm glad I did do that way. I don't share how I sell online, and I probably won't ever share how I sell online. And I don't mind the question being asked, but that's the main reason. And yeah, I'm glad I made that decision, because I felt so bad that she had to change or restart another avenue for selling online. In selling online, most of it is reputation. You get feedback, customer feedback. So to build a brand or to build yourself online, it's really tough to have to start all over again. I just felt so bad that she had to do that. But yeah, I made the decision a long time ago not to share how I sell online. And yeah. How does my family feel about how I share? Well, when I got this question, I had to really ask them, because I have the type of husband. We'll start with my husband. My husband has supported me throughout all of my unconventional ways of making money. I quit my corporate job 20 years ago, 20 plus years ago now. And when I tell you guys what I did, everybody in my life, with the exception of my husband, said, "What?" Yeah. I quit my corporate job because I wanted to stay at home with my girls. Didn't have children yet, but I just knew I did not want to do a 9 to 5. And I just thought of so many different ways on trying to make money and to sustain myself and my family. And from back then, I think he knew that I wouldn't do anything to put this family in harm's way. And so he was good with it. The only thing my husband could not figure out was, why was I sharing it online? And I told him it was almost like a need. I felt that it was a group of people in the economy that we were having. I got this information where I can tell people to go get some free stuff and make good use of it. I just felt almost in my heart to do it. And once he found out that the more I shared, the more that I received, he was good with it. Now, with my girls, I have a 17-year-old, and she's finishing her last year of school. And I think the person who posed the question was basically posing it as it relates to her husband and her girls. And her girls wanted to know, did my children have any issues with someone knowing about what I do and how I share and what I find, and were they being teased about it? I'm thinking that nobody knew that I was a Frugalnista. So, but when I asked my little one, Mirabella just beats her own drum. She was proud of her mommy. She had already made the announcement. My mom is a Frugalnista. And guys, I found this out after I read this question. I went to her field and track day, and I had all of these little girls coming up to me, "Frugalnista, we love your YouTube channel." And so far, so good. I'm just going to a lot of my life, guys, I just kind of leave it to the maker. I leave it in God's hands. And I think I've equipped both girls with enough gumph, umph, fortitude, really not to be concerned what other people think about you. I know it's hard. I know from a, you know, social standpoint, but I really do think that I try to teach my girls to kind of beat to the, march to their own beat. Don't worry about it. That kind of goes into that thing about wondering if I'm poor or not. Social acceptance. Don't nobody rehab your bank account, and don't nobody pay your mortgage or rent. Who cares? As long as you're not breaking any laws or hurting anyone how you do it. And if I'm teaching them that now, and another thing I really want to teach them is a hustle. I believe in education. Won't knock it. My neighbor is sneezing. Y'all can hear it. But I really want to teach them that in this economy, if you know like I know, you need to have several streams of income. And sometimes it has to be unconventional. You may make it, have a corporate job. Great. I appreciate it. You may be educated. I appreciate it. But I'm going to tell you this. Most of the people who I know who are self-made and who are, yeah, at this point I can say millionaires. Yeah, millionaires aren't really doing it the conventional way. And most of them are entrepreneurs. When I was working my corporate job, what I kept thinking in my head, I'm working here 8, 9, 10 hours a day for a company. And if I was working for myself 8, 9, 10 hours a day, what could I have? And I've proven that, guys. I'm 20 years into this now, so I know from whence I speak on this part. Do something that's going to put the majority of your time and efforts into the majority of you and your family. And that's what I did. So, yeah, long answer, they're okay with, long answer, you just heard it. Short answer, they're okay with it. And I'm glad they are. So I love them to death, too. I love my husband and my family to death. But we're kind of the unconventional types. My husband has a 9-to-5 corporate, 9-to-5, I wish. But my husband has a corporate job, but he also has something on the side. Today is Saturday. He's out doing that something on the side. And this person was clueless about me using the term free fine. I just like it better because I wanted people to look at it from a different aspect. When you say the word dumpster diving, most people get turned off by it immediately. I wanted to use a different term. I don't title any of my videos with dumpster diving, so when people are doing a search for me, I think nowadays I come up in the search when people do just search the word dumpster dive because I've been in the YouTube community so long doing it. But I just kind of want for the average person to kind of come to what I'm saying on my channel with an open mind. And I don't want you to have the preconceived what you think dumpster diving is. Yeah, it's kind of like a rose by any other name is a rose, but y'all know what I mean. And I don't think anything of it to anybody who likes to use the term. But honestly, it doesn't describe what I do. I don't dive in. I don't get physically in. And yeah, I like free finding better. Yeah, it just sounds better to me. One page down, one to go. Let's speed this up a little bit. Okay. Asking the stores for permission before they throw it away. I suggest no, but to each his own. I've heard of one woman who asked a grocery store because she likes organic fruits and vegetables. She actually was able to pick it up before they put it in the dumpster. So to each his own, but to me, I would think that if stores don't have time, they don't want the liability, and you might find instead of them helping you, they'll lock the dumpster. And but that's me. I wouldn't ask. If it's legal in your area, go for what you know. Do I have to climb inside? No. How did I get started? I already answered that. The process. Scared of getting tickets or fined? That's a legitimate question. Again, that's a legal question. It depends on where you are. And speaking for myself, I've never even been approached by any type of security or police. So what stores do this and what stores do you go to? I like going where I like to shop. And in my experience, they all do this. Donating to Goodwill, I kind of touched on that already. I don't donate to Goodwill per se anymore. Knowing a little bit of the inner workings, when you're doing donation, research it, I kind of want my donations to go to people who can't afford it. I'm not saying they all have to be free, but to gouge prices like I think some Goodwills do. And the profit margin, when I see chief executive officers, charities begins at home, and I was bundling up clothes that my girls couldn't use and taking them to Goodwill. Well, you know what? Before I started even doing my free finding, I said, you know what? Let me bundle up these clothes and take them to a flea market and sell them so I can buy my girls more clothes. So charity begins at home, in my opinion. So that's how I feel about donating to Goodwill per se. You might have an organization that you don't donate to and you're fine with it. But yeah, and not knocking Goodwill, I get it. It's a great organization, but I find that I really want the people to get the most of what I'm giving. And in my opinion, it's not happening at Goodwill. What is the best find? I can't narrow down the best find, guys. I've given away countless of flip-flops to people who are using them in communities that, children that don't have shoes. I have found um, beds, like 4 and 5 headboards worth over 2 grand. I found high-end makeup. That is my money maker. That's what I like finding. So I can't narrow it down to a best find. Like this umbrella. I'm sitting under an umbrella, shading me from the sun, sitting in a chair that I found for free. And if you came to my home, I don't think you would think I found it in the dumpster. And if I am convincing you that you need to be getting in on this stuff, that's a best find to me. Whatever I show you that you say, wow, she found that? Yeah. How often do I do it? I don't do it as much as I used to, because another thing that I don't think we talk about enough in the community with free finding is hoarding. Yep, you can get into a hoarding situation really, really quick. And if you're not making good use of it, I think you are just as guilty as these corporations throwing it into a landfill. You're just throwing it in your basement or your garage. And I am guilty. Anybody guilty of that? Frugalnista raises her hand. Things can overtake you. And I don't care how many umbrellas I find, I can only use a couple of them. I find so many cute things, and it's hard to get rid of a lot of it. But then I find myself being surrounded by the stuff, which kind of weighs on me and my family. So I had to make it I know things are being sent to the landfill, but I can't rescue it all. And I can't make my house be not the home that I want it to be. I want to be able to enjoy it. I don't want to be surrounded by stuff that I'm not making good use of. So that's why I don't go as often as I used to. Giveaways. I've never done a giveaway on my channel. But I never say never, and I get a lot of questions from my Justice Ladybugs, and if I do ever decide to do a giveaway, it's going to be kind of hard because I know a lot of my people who watch me are under the age 18, so that's probably why I've never done a giveaway. Do I actually dig in the dumpster? Let me see. I move stuff out of the way, but I don't dig. See, I don't like that term. I think everything is in the term, dig. I just kind of move it out of the way a little bit. Doesn't that sound better? Yeah, I'm a frugalnista, y'all. I got to still I have to make this look cute while I'm doing it. Take a long of DDs. What is this? Take-alongs. Oh, tag-alongs. People who want to go do it with me. That's cute and all, but no, I do this by myself. And a meet-up dumpster dive would sound cute, but this is still the internet, y'all. Y'all be careful out there. So the answer to that question is probably no. Y'all ain't finding out where I live. Free find versus dumpster dive, and I already talked about that. It's just semantics. It's just a wording phrase, play on words. I like it. It's my channel, so I like it. Does my husband do free finds? Not really, but he did peek one time, and when he did, homeboy did pretty good. He found a DeWalt drill, brand new. He was at Pet Boys waiting for something, and he saw the manager go out with a box. He thought he'd take a peek. He went back there. He found a big, brand new DeWalt cordless drill, and he found a whole box of commercial cleaning products, like big containers of like Lysol and hand sanitizer that had never been opened, and that was still within the expiration date. Getting caught doing this. I've told you about that one instance. And when you say get caught doing something that's legal, I don't really concern that with me. And I want to talk to you also about when you are doing this, surrounding yourself around positive. And that's with anything in life. I feel if you put out positive comebacks to you. If you are the whole term of fearful, scared, that's what comes back to you. So yeah, put yourself in the frame of mind to receiving. Say to yourself when you get in that car, when you're about to start doing, I'm about to find me some nice free finds. And that's what I do. How do I set my prices? When I go to my flea market, it's kind of pennies on the dollars. With clothes, I sell most of my clothing items $2 and $1 because I'm trying to get it in and out. When I'm setting my prices online, it's different. I kind of gauge it on what I have seen others price theirs for. You can do completed listings. So yeah, that's how I set my prices. Here's a Justice Ladybug wants to know, when am I doing another Justice video? As soon as I find some more Justice stuff, I will. We've been resorting to having to pay for our Justice stuff, and I'm a believer. Justice, they do have a lot of sales, so I do a lot of indoor shopping at Justice, but I haven't found anything backdoor shopping in a while. Do I need an apprentice? Oh, that sounds nice. I would love to take an apprentice, but again, that would be, you know, one of the things my husband and I discussed when I first started with this. Don't let anybody know where we live. He did tell me that, but that's cute. Best find besides the MacBook. Now, I thought that was just too cute. I've never found a MacBook. You have me confused with Mom the eBayer. Love me some Mom the eBayer. And we don't all look alike, do we? I'm just playing. No, I just found that funny because I think you have me mixed up with Mom the eBayer. Again, she is actually probably one of the main persons on YouTube who I started researching. She has a video out doing this to save for a vacation, and I said to myself, there you go. She was able to, with stuff that she has found in the trash, help pay for her family's vacation on the beach, and I just thought that was so cool. Guys, it's time to let down my Free Find umbrella. Put away my Free Find chair. Thanks for watching, guys.